Arike Ogunbowale was arrested after punching a security guard in the face in a Miami nightclub.
Image, perception, and marketability are the foundation of the professional sports industry's ecosystem. Basketball is not the only commodity being marketed to the general population. The athlete is the product. The brand is the product. A labor union is tacitly pledging to behave with the discipline, self-control, and corporate responsibility of global icons when they sit across from a bunch of billionaire owners and demand to be treated like global icons. You cannot operate with the careless, erratic impulsivity of an amateur and demand the financial clout of a corporate titan. Over the past 12 months, the Women's National Basketball Association, a persistent, well-coordinated public relations campaign, has been started by the Players Association. They want you, the customer, to think that they are the most overly professional, undervalued, and unjustly compensated employees in the annals of contemporary sports. They have insisted on receiving half of all league earnings. They have insisted on maximum contracts that are guaranteed. They have insisted that the proprietors reveal their personal financial records. This story has been diligently repackaged by the mainstream sports media and presented to the American public as a great, moral fight for equity. However, the facade of extreme professionalism is brutally crumbling behind the meticulously planned press conferences and the sanitized social media posts. The right has reached a breaking point, and at the negotiating table, the players are willingly providing the billionaire owners with the precise weapons they need to totally demolish the union. Abstract income distributions are no longer a topic of discussion. We are discussing serious, catastrophic business liabilities. We are discussing a franchise's face. After physically attacking a working-class security officer in a Miami nightclub, a multi-time all-star was arrested.
Slater scoop! WNBA All-Star Arike Ogunbowale was arrested on Thursday while celebrating her team's unrivaled basketball championship at Club 11 in Miami. Police sources tell me she punched a man in the face and he fell to the ground. It was also caught on.
It's not a small tabloid rumor that you just heard. It is a catastrophic structural damage to the WNBA's overall public image. You must comprehend the timing in order to fully appreciate the scope of this PR catastrophe. The WNBA is presently engaged in the most intense, high-stakes negotiations for a collective bargaining agreement in the sport's history. A league-wide strike is being openly threatened by the players' union. They are asking that Adam Silver and the league executives turn up the keys to the financial castle as part of a big game of corporate chicken with the ownership group. The fundamental tenet of the union's case is that the players are exceptional, indispensable professionals deserving of guaranteed multi-million-dollar compensation. Investments. One of the most well-known players in the league, Arike Ogunbowale, is arrested for hitting a man in the face at Club 11 in Miami during this extremely delicate, high-stakes game. This is more than simply a terrible appearance. This is a huge liability for the company. An athlete's scoring average is not the only thing a billionaire owner or international sponsor like Nike, Gatorade, or State Farm considers. They examine their risk profile. America's corporate sector is very risk-averse. Millions of dollars are spent on advertising campaigns centered around the concept of inspirational, empowering, and family-friendly athletes. When a surveillance camera captures one of those individuals knocking a nightclub worker to the ground, it completely destroys the corporate illusion. Since the information revealed in the police report is so damaging for the player and the league, let's examine the particular structural dynamics of this occurrence.
Place. TMZ Sports obtained the complaint. Officers were notified of a physical altercation that broke out inside 11. When approaching the rear exit of the club, the officer stated a large crowd was being escorted out by security. The officer made contact with the alleged victim, who claimed he was attempting to escort 29-year-old Ogunbowale out of the club due to an unrelated altercation. So there's already an altercation. She's getting escorted out because of it.
Pay attention to the order of events. This was not a chance miscommunication. A professional athlete was not merely protecting herself from an unwarranted attack in this instance. An unrelated physical incident was already occurring inside the club, according to the official police report. The security team was carrying out a regular procedure. Their sole responsibility is to reduce liability and safeguard the site. To defuse the situation, they were taking a sizable group of people, including Ogunbowale, out of the rear exit. The security guy was carrying out his duties. He was in charge of a disorganized setting, and she allegedly whirled around and hit him in the face rather than behaving like a seasoned 29-year-old professional athlete who knows the target on her back. Face with a clenched fist, knocking him to the ground. Consider the psychological entitlement needed to carry out that action. As a well-paid public person, you are aware that there are cameras in every room you walk into. You are aware that your physical body is a corporate asset worth millions of dollars. However, these seasoned players have been persuaded that they are totally untouchable by the WNBA's present ethos. They have been constantly told that they are victims of a systemic power structure, insulated from legitimate criticism, and pampered by the media. When an athlete is continuously fed the narrative that the world owes you, cultivate a dangerous degree of haughtiness when you treat them with respect. They start to think that they are exempt from the customs of society and professional behavior. And those who cover the sport itself willingly contribute to this poisonous bubble of entitlement. Take a look at how the mainstream sports media responded to this brutal arrest right away. Observe the complete absence of accountability.
Sorry. Andy Cosmo says, Arike is home safely per Unrivaled Sport. What do you mean home safely? What do you... she's the one that punched the... Did he make it home safely? Is he okay? Is he okay? Did he have to go to get stitches? Did he have to go to the hospital?
Take a moment to consider the severity of that media response. After viciously hitting a working-class security guy in the face, a WNBA star is taken into custody for violence. And a well-known sports media personality immediately responds by tweeting that Arike had returned home safely. The victim is unimportant to them. They don't give a damn about the security guard who was attacked at work while attempting to perform his duties and earning a small portion of this athlete's salary. The media's natural tendency is to defend the WNBA player right away, embrace the attacker, and portray her as the one whose safety is of concern. This is precisely the kind of media collusion that gives rise to a monster. When a participant is aware, why would the media covering the league ever check their own behavior, since they will unquestioningly defend them, distort the facts to suit them, and overlook their violent transgressions? Why would they ever practice self-control? They have a cultural free pass to behave as carelessly as they choose. However, the rich owners seated on the other side of the negotiation table will not tolerate the players, even though the media may. The WNBA players have completely misjudged their place in the social and cultural hierarchy. They think LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes have the same amount of institutional clout. However, LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes run teams that are guaranteed to bring in tens of billions of dollars worldwide. With Caitlin Clark's entrance, the WNBA is only now starting to make money. The ownership group will use this arrest as a weapon in a way for which the union is totally unprepared, and the experienced players do not have the power they believe they possess. This leads us to the saga's explosive and unavoidable conclusion. The audacious hypothesis that no one in the mainstream media has the guts to express. The WNBA owners and Adam Silver will not overlook this nightclub arrest. At the negotiation table, they will exploit it to completely destroy the Players Association. The Players Union has been pressing for contracts that are completely guaranteed. They want the assurance that they will collect every penny of their multi-million-dollar deals, regardless of whether they play poorly, get an injury, or turn into a public relations disaster. Absolutely not, the owners will answer, sliding the police report from Club 11 across the boardroom table. Why would an ownership group offer an athlete who lacks the emotional intelligence to leave a nightclub when asked to do so a sizable financial contract? A player who is a walking liability, the contractual authority to terminate them, nullify their funds, and safeguard the franchise brand must remain with the owner. While the union is battling for influence, its own members are actively undermining it. If the players' union rejects the owner's demands for severe behavioral standards and draconian morality clauses, the owners will simply refer to the mugshot of one of their top stars and lock them out.
That for no reason, I'm on her side. Yeah, it was his fault. He should have known who she is. He should have known her jersey number, what team she plays for, her stats. Maybe he did. Maybe he knew all that. Maybe he picked her up, escorted her out. Hey, aren't you the one who went 0 for 11 from 3 in the game? What'd you say to me? Boom!
Before the punch was delivered, the commentator makes jokes about the security officer not knowing who she was or possibly bringing up her low shooting percentages. Although it is a hilarious perspective, it draws attention to a very sinister psychological reality regarding the ego of contemporary professional athletes. These seasoned athletes expect a complete change. They want to be acknowledged as international celebrities. Additionally, their delicate egos utterly crumble when they come across a working-class person in real life who does not conform to their perceived rank. If the WNBA season leadership acts like a street gang, the league will not exist. The league is frantically attempting to profit from the enormous number of family-friendly viewers that the Caitlin Clark phenomena attracted. Corporate sponsors are investing large sums of money in the league with the expectation of a polished, marketable, and extremely professional product. The corporate world is terrified when an old guard player is arrested for a violent nightclub altercation while celebrating a championship in a pointless off-season upstart league. It claims that the WNBA has a poisonous culture. It claims that the players are uncontrollable. It indicates that the investment is not secure. The players' union believed they could coerce the owners into giving them half of the league's earnings. They believed that by threatening a strike, they could get the billionaires to give up. However, the ultimate trump card belongs to billionaires. They are patient. Their capital is limitless. And now the owners have the ideal excuse to impose complete, uncompromising corporate control over the workers because of the players' own reckless conceit. While the owners are playing high-stakes corporate chess, the WNBA players are playing checkers, and the players have just given their queen to the opponent. I'd want to hear from you. Now go ahead and leave a remark. Do you believe that the players' guaranteed contracts under the new CBA will be denied by the WNBA owners as a result of this arrest? If a player punches a security guard, should the league suspend them? Or will the media be able to effectively completely ignoring this in order to preserve her reputation? Tell me what you think down there. Click the subscribe button, enable notifications, and spread the word about this video if you want to see the brutal, unreserved truth about the business of sports, the leverage games performed behind closed doors, and the stories the mainstream media refuses to cover honestly. Here, we don't use sterilized PR narratives. We reveal the unvarnished reality that lurks in the shadows. Remain vigilant. I'll meet you in the upcoming